when you're out with your kids and you're going like the folks in East Palestine to support the East Palestine Bulldogs, you want to know that they're breathing the air that is clean for them. You want to know if there's an emergency, if the whole house closes, that there's a real emergency. That's how people in communities think about how to determine whether or not there's a health hazard. So when we take those real life connections and now look at what people are feeling, what they're smelling, what they're seeing, I think it's extremely important that not only the corporations and the community, the corporations and government, and then respond to what they're telling us they're living through the experience. We can't let the corporations off the hook.
Yeah, Heather Coney, I do want to mention that I have had several conversations with the EPA director, Michael Regan. And one of the things he said, and I thought it was important, is that they are going to have to earn back, and I'm talking about the government itself and the companies, earn back the trust of people, because at this point in time, that trust has been lost, and it takes time to rebuild that. And so all the things that you said, ring true for a lot of people who've been through this before. Heather Coney, I really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your insights with us.
Thanks so much.
Authorities say a California man accused of targeting and shooting 2 Jewish men in separate incidents has a history of anti-Semitic acts. The suspect told investigators he was looking specifically for Jewish people. According to prosecutors, the first shooting happened Wednesday as the victim was walking to his car from religious services at a synagogue in Los Angeles. The second attack happened Thursday, just 3 blocks away, and video shows the victim just moments after he was shot in the arm. Police say both men were hospitalized, but they are in stable condition, expected to survive. CNN's Camila Bernal joins us now from Los Angeles. This has to be really terrifying for the community there.
It really is, Sarah, especially because a lot of the people that I talked to, what they told me is, look, that could have been me. They feel like it could have been themselves, their family members, their children, and that's why so many of them are worried. They know this was a targeted shooting because when this 28-year-old was arrested, he told authorities that he was looking at this area, that he was looking at kosher markets in this area, that he specifically targeted these 2 men because of their headgear. They were easily identifiable as Jewish men. And so that's what creates a lot of this fear. In addition to that, we know that authorities were looking into his past. As we mentioned, just anti-Semitic behavior. He was messaging via email and text to his classmates with threatening messages. And so there's a whole case being built. The U.S. District Attorney that is now handling all of this, saying that this man could face up to life in prison for what he has done here, and also for terrifying this community. There is a prominent rabbi here in Los Angeles that spoke out about all of this. Here's what he said.
Parents will be looking over their shoulders. Walking to houses of prayer on the Sabbath is not a situation that should be normal anywhere. The security measures at the houses of worship in Jewish schools are already in place.
And we have seen a lot of security in the different synagogues in this area. We saw mounted police throughout the day just going up and down the street. But again, as I mentioned, a lot of the people here say they're worried because they think this could happen again. Sarah?
Camila Bernal, it's always good to see you. Thank you so much for your reporting. It's been nearly 2 weeks since that massive earthquakes hit Turkey and Syria, and people are still being found alive in the rubble. We'll have the very latest next.
If I just stare at these payroll forms, my business payroll taxes will calculate themselves, right? Nope.
Intuit QuickBooks helps you manage your payroll taxes
Cheers.
with 100% accurate tax calculations guaranteed.
The skies are strange.
Whether you dream of rings or dragons, your favorite fantasies are now together in perfect harmony. No Krypton Holder. And finding what you love is easier than ever. This is where your favorite hit shows, top movies, and live sports come together. Even out on other streamers like HBO Max in the one app that unites them all. Prime Video.
I got in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein.
Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, and nutrients for immune health. When you love the environment, you work to protect it. The Subaru Solterra electric SUV. Subaru's first all-electric, zero-emissions SUV.
We got some catching up to do.
Built to help you protect the environment as you explore it. Love is what makes Subaru, Subaru.
I'm Lindsay Vaughn, and ever since I retired from skiing, I've had trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. You know, insomnia. Before I found QUVIVIQ, an FDA-approved insomnia medication for adults, you would not believe the things I used to think about when I couldn't sleep.
Hey there. So you signed this business contract, all 114 pages.
Hey, Lacey, it's workout time.
Hey, big man, we're in the middle of something here.
Yeah, it's called physical fitness.
Just a couple dozen more questions, Lindsay.
Don't forget to pack your phone charger for tomorrow morning's flight. It's plugged in, right over there.
Lindsay, QUVIVIQ helps me get more sleep. And when taken every night, sleep continued to improve over time. That's why I take QUVIVIQ nightly.
QUVIVIQ works differently than medication you may have taken in the past. QUVIVIQ is thought to target one of the biological causes of insomnia, overactive wake sickness. Do not take QUVIVIQ if you have narcolepsy. Don't drink alcohol while taking QUVIVIQ or drive or operate heavy machinery until you feel fully alert. QUVIVIQ may cause temporary inability to move or talk or hallucinations while falling asleep or waking up. QUVIVIQ may cause sleepiness during the day. QUVIVIQ may lead to doing activities while not fully awake that you don't remember the next day, like walking, driving, and making or eating food. Worsening depression, including suicidal thoughts, may occur. Most common side effects are headaches and sleepiness.
It's QUVIVIQ. Ask your doctor if it's right for you.
If your business kept on employees through the pandemic, GetRefunds.com can see if it may qualify for a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee, even if it received PPP. And all it takes is 8 minutes to get started. Then we'll work with you to fill out your forms and submit the application. That easy. And if your business doesn't get paid, we don't get paid. GetRefunds.com has helped businesses like yours claim over $2 billion, but it's only available for a limited time. Go to GetRefunds.com, powered by Innovation Refunds.
When dehydration gets real.
Hey, that's mine.
What about your pony? Advanced hydration isn't just for kids. Pedialyte helps you hydrate during recovery.
Businesses nationwide are switching to Verizon Business Internet.
It's a perfect fit for my small business.
Verizon has business internet solutions nationwide.
For our not so small business, too.
Get internet that keeps your business ready for anything from Verizon.
In Turkey and Syria, the death toll from powerful earthquakes 12 days ago has now surpassed 46,000 people. But amid the devastation, more amazing stories of survival. This morning, a couple and their son were pulled alive from the rubble of a collapsed apartment building 296 hours after the earthquake. Sadly, though, the little boy died later. This week, I spoke to another survivor who escaped from under the rubble only to learn that part of his family wasn't as fortunate.
Ahmet Ayan is grieving the loss of his wife and son while clinging to the one person who willed him to stay alive. My daughter was telling me, Papa, don't cry, relax. They're coming to rescue us, he says. This is Ahmet, 4 days after he was buried neck deep in rubble with his wife and 2 children. Only he and his 4-year-old daughter Gada made it out alive. We stayed under the rubble about 4 days. When the building fell down, my daughter was on my leg. Thank God there wasn't any rocks or something. She was rescued first. A half hour later, he was. And the two got separated. He was taken to a hospital. She was eventually taken to social services with barely a scratch on her. For days, he had no idea where his little angel was. Did you worry that you'd never see her again? No, never, he says. You knew you'd see her again. And he was right. This is the day they were reunited. They screamed and cried, elated to hold each other once more. On the fourth day, my daughter told me, "Look, Papa, there is light." I didn't understand the light at the time, he says. Then I heard some voices. Those were the voices of rescuers, and a family member later found her in social services and made the connection. Jean Gersoy is hoping beyond hope he too will be reunited with his parent. I have one request for you. Please help me find my mother. I'm there then, he tells us. He and his family were trapped inside this collapsed building for 24 hours. He and his sister made it out. His mother has not been seen since. I remember the collapsing of the building. I remember passing out after a piece of the house hit me in the eye, he says. Can you describe what it was like in this tight space, physically for you? It was so difficult to breathe there. On the other hand, there was something crushing my leg, making me suffer, he says. Ultimately, it was his decision to pull on a bit of the curtains that were visible to the outside that alerted someone he was alive. While he continues searching for his mother, Ahmed is nursing his foot injury while thanking God he has at least one child left to love. That's my daughter, he says, and she's my little hero. My hero. Gaga and Ahmed, I can tell you, are doing well. They are still grieving the loss of their mother and his son. As for the other young man, he's a huge Lakers fan. So, if the Lakers are listening, anybody, I have their address. He'd love to hear from you. For more information on how you can help, go to cnn.com/impact. There is a lot of different places that you can give to, and I've certainly given myself, and so have many of my friends. All right, coming up. Who is next? Nikki Haley and Donald Trump are the first candidates running for president, but won't be the last. We'll tell you another name to keep an eye on. Here's a hint. It is not Ron DeSantis.
All across the country, people are working hard to build a better future. So we're hard at work, helping them achieve financial freedom. We're providing greater access to investing with low-cost options to help maximize savings. From the plains to the coasts, we help Americans invest for their future and help communities thrive. Invested in the future of Americans. BlackRock. Life doesn't stop for diabetes. Be ready for every moment. Live Glucerna. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand that's scientifically designed to help manage your blood sugar. Live every moment. Glucerna.
Tonight, Daddy, I'm going to read to you. Not far away lies a magical place where people start work with a smile on their face. Some build castles with big metal beasts, while others rise early to cook giant feasts. But every great workplace like the ones you see here make people their purpose, so they bring you to here.
Make your fairy tale workplace a reality with HR software from UKG.
When cold symptoms keep you up, try Vicks NyQuil Severe. Just one dose starts relieving none of your worst cold and flu symptoms to help take you from 9 to 9. For max strength nighttime relief, NyQuil Severe. The nighttime sprinkling sneezing sleep with a cold medicine.
Honey, are you throwing the crop out?
Relaxing to watch TV can.
You gotta watch it when it's warm enough. I gotta watch it when it gets warm. You got the player and all that. If you watch a play, that's a punch. That's her favorite thing. More harder. Whoa.
Choose to walk from the start and move towards relief after the first dose. With injections every 2 months.
Still Stelara may increase your risk of infections, some serious and cancer. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've had an infection, flu-like symptoms, sores, new skin growths, have had cancer, or if you need a vaccine. PRES, a rare potentially fatal brain condition, may be possible. Reactions and lung inflammation can occur.
Feel unstoppable. Ask your doctor how lasting remission can start with Stelara. Janssen can help you explore cost support options.
Back when I had a working circulatory system, you had to give your right arm to find great talent. But with Upwork, there's highly skilled talent from all over the globe, right at your fingertips. It's where businesses meet great remote talent, and remote talent meets great opportunity.
This is how we work now. What happens when the greatest rivalries in food battle head to head? Season premiere, Tournament of Champions, Sunday night at 8 on Food Network.
Every search you make, every click you take, I'll be watching you.
The internet doesn't have to be so creepy. The DuckDuckGo app lets you search and browse privately, blocking most trackers, all for free. Your search history is never tracked, so it can't be shared. And when you leave search, DuckDuckGo helps keep companies from watching you as you browse. Join tens of millions of people making the easy switch by downloading the app today. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
Innocence in nature, Professor Counts into science.
But together, we work. Like our Senecot laxatives.
To relieve occasional constipation, Senecot's made from the sun.
Refined by science to be reliable.
Perfect match. Just like us. Senecot.
If it hurts when you poop, sometimes like bitching off a porcupine sweat. You're next to the poop. It always is the brand you need to solve. We're all agreed. Number 2 should be easy to do.
Just Coley's always for comfortable relief.
Glitch, the rise and fall of HQ trees. Watch 5th at 9 on CNN.
2028 presidential hopeful Nikki Haley is hitting the campaign trail. Yesterday, she spoke to a crowd in New Hampshire, making an appeal to nostalgia.
Do you remember how simple life was? And you remember that your parents are what taught you what was right and wrong? And you went to school and they gave you the basics? And neighbors took care of neighbors? And being patriotic was something you felt in your heart and your gut? Do you remember that? Don't you want that again?
Some would say we still have it. Joining us now, CNN senior political analyst Ron Brownstein. He's also a senior editor for The Atlantic. Ron, is this a variation of the Trump?
Yeah.
No, I did not take one.
Yeah.
Did not. Neither are you.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
I took it last night.
No.
So I didn't take it last night. I took it yesterday morning.
No.
I got an Ambien last night.
No.
Okay, so I'm not arguing.
Hey.
I got an Ambien last night. You're an Ambien is there. And I said, I'm taking it because I took one yesterday morning. I didn't take any. I took an Ambien last night. I was up and down. I knew I didn't want to try to change that because that's what I did the most. And it worked for about 3 or 4. Then I needed help. It was there. It was just a bit sick. I haven't wanted to take it because I know they help me better. Try to just not take anything. Just let's just pain bill. You know, where I said, well, I mean, she's in another world right now. Maybe she always has been. She didn't say anything about more. Didn't say nothing. Didn't appreciate the dollars. Appreciate the understanding. He just said George is just different. Well, whatever.
In the crosshairs of a certain former president who has shown, if nothing else, he is very good at bludgeoning political life.
know what's going to happen with a candidate. That yes, we know so-and-so is going
Almost got it.
You have President Biden, who has alluded to
What
probably
is
maybe
this?
doing it.
Oh,
We have not heard from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
yes.
Is there a sort of deadline that is put out there that needs to be adhered to, or can they kind of come in the race whenever they darn well please?
Well, generally speaking, the feeling has been you have to get in earlier to build an organization and to raise money. I think that's less relevant for DeSantis than for some other candidates because he does have extraordinarily high name ID and support in early polling, and obviously has tremendous ability to raise money online and through small donors around the country. So I don't really feel he has like a real pressing deadline. I think what's happening is that the dynamics of the race are being kind of readjusted by Haley possibly and Scott taking South Carolina off the board, and the governor of New Hampshire, Sununu, possibly taking New Hampshire off the board. Those early races usually set the program for the Republicans, and it's not clear what will happen if two of those races have favored son-daughter candidates.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see as this sort of comes out. Ron Brownstein, you're always amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. A young fan stole the show at a hockey game. Why the arena went crazy for this 4-year-old. Next, a little happiness for you, Maxine.
They're gonna sign the universe is trying to tell you something. That's the one. University of Phoenix. You're your master's degree in less than a year for $111K. Learn more at Phoenix.edu. For grid security cameras, keep an eye on every corner of your home, inside and out.
Hey, Eddie.
Even see what's set your alarm off. Seriously, get smart security everywhere. Get Grid. Learn more at grid.com.
COVID-19 and being overweight makes it more risky. I'm calling my doctor. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Authorized for emergency use, Paxlovid is an oral treatment for people 12 and up who have mild to moderate COVID-19 and have a high risk factor for it becoming severe.
My symptoms are mild now, but I'm not worried. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Having even one risk factor like being healthy, diabetes, or smoking increases your chances of severe COVID. Taken within 5 days of symptoms, Paxlovid reduced the risk of developing severe COVID-19 by 86%.
Paxlovid may strengthen or weaken other medicines. Taking it with certain medicines may cause life-threatening side effects or affect how Paxlovid works. So it's critical to tell your doctor about all medicines you take, supplements, because lab tests or changing the dose of your medicines may be needed. Tell your doctor if you have illnesses, allergies, liver or kidney disease, are pregnant or plan to become pregnant, are breastfeeding or use birth control. Paxlovid may affect how your birth control works. Don't take Paxlovid if you're allergic to nirmatrelvir, ritonavir, or any of its ingredients. Serious side effects can include allergic reactions, liver problems, and issues with HIV medicines. Other side effects include altered taste, diarrhea, high blood pressure, muscle aches, abdominal pain, nausea, and feeling unwell.
With my asthma, I knew it could be riskier. If it's COVID, Paxlovid. Ask your doctor or pharmacist if Paxlovid is right for you.
Okay, everyone, our mission is complete balanced nutrition. Together we support immune function, supply fuel for immune cells, and sustain tissue health.
Ensure with 25 vitamins and minerals, and Ensure Complete with 30 grams of protein.
What will you do? Will you make something better? Create something new? Our Gel Technologies Advisors will provide you with the tools and expertise you need to create
This week, we're talking to James Bond.
I'm not scared of
We start the water?
Do you want to? Okay, I've got towels in their cabin. Let me move. What? Let's see, anything else I have here that she's been bringing in sticks. I usually use the doggy door all this time, but she's been bringing in crack. So I want to make sure there's nothing there, and I put towels in here. And I've almost made this bag again. So all of that is that, but I didn't know, it's up to you and Chris if you